Hello, everyone. Welcome to English in Fluency. I'm Alex, your host for today. Here at English in Fluency, our shared goal is to learn the English language together, not just as a set of rules and words, but as a living, breathing tool that can help us explore ourselves and the world around us. We do this in a way that is simple, friendly, and always connected to real life. So, as you listen today, you're doing something wonderful. You're not just practicing your English listening comprehension, you are also discovering ideas that can genuinely help you in your everyday life. That is the true purpose of this podcast, to offer you English that is useful and lessons for living that are meaningful. Let's begin our journey today with a little scene. I want you to imagine you're at a party. The music is playing, people are laughing, and conversations are happening all around you. You're holding a drink in your hand, maybe smiling at people who pass by. But on the inside, there's a feeling of distance. It's as if you're watching a movie of the party instead of actually being in it. You feel separate, unseen, and deeply alone, even though you are surrounded by people. Have you ever experienced a moment like that? Or perhaps a different kind of moment? Sitting alone in your room late at night, the house is quiet, and a wave of emptiness washes over you. I believe most of us, if we are honest, have felt this profound sense of being on the outside looking in. I certainly have. This feeling, this internal quiet in a loud world, or this deep ache in a silent room, is what we call loneliness. Today, we are going to talk about this very human experience, but we are going to look at it from a completely different angle. We are going to explore how to get more benefits from loneliness. Now, I understand that the word loneliness often carries a heavy weight. When we hear it, our minds might immediately jump to thoughts of sadness, isolation, or a sense of lack. But I want to invite you to open your mind to a new possibility today. What if loneliness wasn't just a negative feeling to be avoided at all costs? What if it could also be a gift? What if those moments of being alone, or even feeling alone, could offer you something positive? Something that helps you to grow, to learn more about yourself, and to become a more resilient and thoughtful person. That is the heart of our conversation today. In this episode, I want to show you that loneliness doesn't have to be your enemy. With a small shift in perspective, it can become a powerful teacher. Together, we will gently explore how these quiet, solitary moments can give us the precious space we need to understand ourselves more deeply, to truly rest our minds and bodies, to focus our attention without distraction, to unlock our creativity, and to build a stronger foundation for our lives. I will share relatable stories, small, practical actions you can take, and simple habits you can begin to build whenever you find yourself alone. And, because this is English in Fluency, I will guide you through some useful English phrases and complete sentences that you can practice speaking out loud with me. My hope is that by the end of our time together, you will feel two things. You will feel more confident in your ability to speak and understand English, and you will feel more positive and empowered when you think about loneliness. Before we dive deeper, I'd like to invite you to join me in repeating one short, powerful sentence. This is a small practice to warm up our voices and, more importantly, to open our minds to the central theme of our episode. Are you ready? Let's say it slowly and clearly together. Loneliness can be a space for my growth. Let's repeat that one more time, perhaps a little louder, and with a sense of curiosity. Loneliness can be a space for my growth. Wonderful. Now, with that thought in our minds, let's begin our journey. We will start by understanding what loneliness truly is, and then, step by step, we will uncover how to transform it from something we fear into something we can use in a smart, healthy, and constructive way. Please stay with me, and let's learn and grow together. Now that our minds are warmed up and open, let's take a few moments to really unpack and understand the word loneliness. It's a word we use quite often in our daily conversations, but we don't always pause to consider its true, deeper meaning. You see, loneliness is not simply about the physical state of being by yourself. It's much more an experience that happens on the inside. A simple way to describe it is this: loneliness is the feeling of being disconnected on the inside. This is a crucial distinction. You can be in a vibrant, crowded room, surrounded by dozens of people, and still feel a profound sense of loneliness. On the other hand, you could be sitting quietly in your home, with no one else around, and feel perfectly peaceful, content, and connected to yourself, without a trace of loneliness. So, loneliness isn't determined by how many people are physically near you. It is determined by the quality of connection you feel inside your own heart and mind. Let me paint a clearer picture with a story about two people, Liam and Chloe. Imagine Liam at a big family gathering. There are aunts, uncles, and cousins everywhere. The air is filled with loud laughter and cheerful chatter. On the surface, it's a happy scene. But Liam is sitting on a couch in the corner, scrolling through his phone. Nobody has spoken to him for the last hour. He feels like a ghost in his own family, completely invisible. The room is full of people, but inside, Liam feels an overwhelming emptiness. That feeling, that is loneliness. Now, let's imagine Chloe. It's a rainy Sunday afternoon, and she is home all by herself. She's sitting by the window, a warm cup of tea in her hands, and she's reading a fascinating book. The only sound is the gentle patter of rain against the glass. She feels calm, content, and deeply engaged in her story. In this moment, Chloe is physically alone, but she is not lonely. Can you see the profound difference between their experiences? Liam's situation shows us that loneliness can exist even in a crowd, while Chloe's situation shows us that solitude can be peaceful and fulfilling. Being alone is a physical circumstance. Feeling lonely is an emotional experience. It is so important to truly grasp this difference because many people live with a fear of being alone. They believe that if they are alone, they will automatically feel lonely. But this simply isn't true. Being alone can be a beautiful opportunity for peace, reflection, and personal growth. Loneliness, on the other hand, is just a signal. It's a feeling that gently taps you on the shoulder and asks you to pay attention to your inner world. These two things are related, of course, but they are not the same. When we understand this distinction, we can look at our own lives with much more clarity. We can pause and ask ourselves, in this moment, am I just physically alone? Or do I truly feel lonely and disconnected? This one small question can help us to respond to our situation in a much healthier and more effective way. Another very important thing to hold in your heart is this: every single person on this planet feels loneliness at some point in their lives. It doesn't matter if you are young or old, wealthy or poor, an introvert or an extrovert. Loneliness is a fundamental part of the human condition. Some of us might feel it more frequently, while others feel it less, but nobody can honestly say, "I have never felt lonely." So, if you are feeling lonely right now, please know that you are not strange, you are not broken, and you are certainly not weak. It simply means you are a human being, navigating the complex journey of life. Sometimes, when people feel lonely, they also feel a sense of shame. They might think, maybe there's something wrong with me because I don't have enough friends, or why can't I feel connected like everyone else seems to? I want you to hear this message loud and clear. Loneliness is not a personal failure. It is a normal human feeling. Think of it like this. Just as hunger is a signal that tells our body we need food, loneliness is a signal that tells our heart and mind that we need connection or care. It's a message from our deepest self, and when we learn to listen to that message without judgment, we can then decide what to do next. We can choose to take a small, kind action for ourselves. When you feel thirsty, you get a glass of water. When you feel tired, you allow yourself to rest. And when you feel lonely, you can do something small and kind for yourself. That action might be as simple as calling a friend you haven't spoken to in a while, writing down your thoughts in a journal, taking a short walk in nature, or even just listening to a comforting podcast like this one. The most important thing is that you respond with gentleness. You don't need to fight the feeling or push it away. You simply acknowledge it and offer yourself a bit of care. I want to give you a small practice phrase that you can use as a gentle anchor whenever the feeling of loneliness arises. You can say this sentence to yourself slowly, almost like a comforting promise. The sentence is, "When I feel lonely, I can choose a small, kind action." Let's try saying it together now. Are you ready? When I feel lonely, I can choose a small, kind action. Very good. Let's say it one more time, but this time, say it with a softer, kinder voice, as if you're speaking to a dear friend. When I feel lonely, I can choose a small, kind action. Keep this sentence in your mind. It's a powerful reminder that loneliness does not have control over you. You always have the power to choose one kind thing to do for yourself. So now we understand that loneliness is not just about being physically alone. It's an inner feeling. It is a normal and universal experience, and it is not a sign of weakness. In fact, when we notice it and respond to it with care and curiosity, it can be the very first step on a path toward incredible growth. In the next part of our podcast, we will explore how to actively change our mindset about loneliness, learning to see it not as a problem to be solved, but as an opportunity to be embraced. We've now established what loneliness is, and we understand that it is a very different experience from simply being alone. Now, let's venture a little deeper and discuss how we can fundamentally change the way we perceive loneliness. For many people, the moment they feel a pang of loneliness, their immediate reaction is to see it as something bad, something painful, or even something dangerous. Their instinct is to push it away, ignore it, or numb it with distractions. But I want to offer you a radically different perspective. Our feelings are not our enemies. Our feelings are our messengers. They are like the small indicator lights on the dashboard of a car. When the oil light turns on, it doesn't mean the car is broken or useless. It simply means the car is sending you a clear message. Please pay attention. I need some oil. It's a signal for action. In exactly the same way, when you feel loneliness, your mind and your heart are sending you a message. They are saying, "Please pay attention. I need some care. I need some genuine connection." So instead of fighting against the feeling of loneliness, we can learn to listen to it as a helpful signal. This small shift in your thinking is incredibly powerful. The moment you say to yourself, "Loneliness is a signal, not an enemy," you can feel a sense of relief. The feeling is no longer a scary monster that you must run away from. It becomes a gentle messenger that you can listen to and respond to with wisdom. Let's go back to the hunger analogy. Hunger isn't a bad thing, is it? Hunger is simply a message. Your body needs nourishment. In the same way, loneliness is a message. Your soul needs connection or self-care. When you truly internalize this, you stop being afraid of loneliness. You start to see it as a guide. Now, let's practice what we call reframing. To reframe something means to look at it from a new perspective, to put it in a different frame, just like a picture. Instead of framing loneliness with the words, "Loneliness is a problem," you can choose a new frame and say, "Loneliness is a teacher." Instead of saying, "Loneliness makes me feel weak," you can say, "Loneliness gives me an opportunity to build inner strength." This new way of thinking is what we call a mindset shift. You are consciously moving your perspective from one of pain and powerlessness to one of opportunity and growth. Every time loneliness pays you a visit, you can pause and ask a curious question. What is this quiet moment trying to teach me? How can I use this space for my own good? This doesn't mean that loneliness will suddenly feel pleasant or comfortable. Just like hunger or tiredness, it can still feel heavy or uncomfortable at times. But when you view it as an opportunity, you are able to respond in a much more proactive and intelligent way. For example, maybe loneliness is signaling that you need to reconnect with an old friend. Maybe it's telling you that your body and mind are exhausted and you desperately need to spend some time resting. Or maybe it's a sign that you should sit down with a notebook and think about your personal goals and dreams. In each of these scenarios, the feeling is not just pain. It is also valuable information. Let me share a simple affirmation with you. An affirmation is a short, positive sentence that you can repeat to yourself to help guide your mind in a new direction. This affirmation is, "I can use this quiet time to grow." This sentence is so simple, but it is incredibly strong. When you feel that familiar ache of loneliness, you can say it quietly to yourself. "I can use this quiet time to grow." By saying these words, you are actively reminding yourself that this moment is not wasted time. You are not lost or stuck. You are in a process of growth. Let's practice saying it together now. Repeat after me, slowly and with intention. "I can use this quiet time to grow." Very good. Let's try it one more time, with a little more belief in your voice. "I can use this quiet time to grow." And I want to give you one more powerful sentence you can practice with me. This one connects directly to your English learning journey. It is, "I turn lonely time into learning time." Say it once with me. "I turn lonely time into learning time." Beautiful. Now say it again, perhaps with a small smile. "I turn lonely time into learning time." Do you feel how the words themselves seem to create a sense of possibility? This is the magic of a new mindset. When you change the way you talk about loneliness, you change the way you feel about it. So, please remember this powerful idea. Loneliness is not your enemy. It is a signal. It is not just a source of pain. It is a source of opportunity. Each time you feel it, you can pause, listen to its message, and then decide on a small, kind action that helps you to grow. This fundamental mindset shift will make the rest of our journey much easier, because now we are ready to explore the specific benefits that can emerge from these quiet, solitary moments. In the next part of this podcast, we will talk about the many gifts you can receive from loneliness and how you can actively welcome them into your daily life. Now that we have shifted our mindset and learned to see loneliness in a new, more positive light, it's time to ask a very practical question. What benefits can we actually get from it? If loneliness is not only a source of pain, but also an opportunity, what good things can blossom from those quiet moments? The truth is, when we learn to use our alone time wisely and intentionally, it can bestow upon us many wonderful gifts. Let me share 5 of the main benefits with you. These are simple concepts, but they are profoundly powerful when put into practice. The first benefit is this: you get to know yourself better. In our busy, fast-paced modern lives, we are constantly running from one task to the next. We rush from work to study, from family obligations to social media notifications. We often don't take the time to pause and ask ourselves simple but important questions like, how am I really feeling right now? Or, what do I truly need in this moment? But loneliness provides a natural pause. It creates a quiet space where we can turn our attention inward. Imagine sitting quietly for just 5 minutes, with no phone, no television, no distractions at all. You could close your eyes and simply ask yourself, how do I feel right now? What does my body need? What does my mind need? Perhaps you'll realize that you feel exhausted and need to rest. Maybe you'll notice a feeling of stress in your shoulders and realize you need to stretch. Or perhaps you'll discover a need for some kind words of encouragement. When you engage in this kind of gentle self-inquiry, you begin to build a stronger, more compassionate relationship with yourself. Let's practice a sentence frame together that can help with this. Try to complete this sentence out loud. Today, I feel. Right now, I need. Filling in those blanks helps you to connect with your inner world. The second benefit is that you can truly rest and recharge. Many of us live in a culture that celebrates being busy. We sometimes feel guilty if we are not being productive every single minute of the day. But this is not a healthy way to live. Your body and your mind require regular breaks to function well. Alone time can be the perfect opportunity to give yourself the gift of rest. This doesn't necessarily mean you have to sleep for hours. Even a short 15-minute nap, some gentle stretching, or simply sitting and sipping a cup of tea without looking at your phone can provide a significant boost of new energy. Think of your body and mind like the battery of a smartphone. If you use it all day long without plugging it in, the battery will eventually die. In the same way, you must give yourself small moments throughout the day to recharge. Let's practice another line together. Repeat after me. I am giving my body and mind a moment to rest. This is a simple but powerful reminder that resting is not a waste of time. It is an essential part of preparing for whatever comes next. The third benefit is that you can focus and perform deep work. When you are alone, there are naturally fewer distractions pulling at your attention. This creates an ideal environment for giving your full, undivided concentration to something that is important to you. For example, you could use this quiet time to spend 25 minutes studying a difficult English grammar topic, reading a chapter of a challenging book, or finally finishing a small task that you have been procrastinating on. The key is to choose one single thing and dedicate your full focus to it. Many people complain that they can never find the time for their important projects or goals, but loneliness can gift you that very time. Instead of feeling bored or restless, you can reframe the moment and say to yourself, "This is my chance to focus." Let's repeat this empowering line together. I will choose one task, and I will give it my full attention. This short sentence helps you to transform lonely time into productive and progressive time. The fourth benefit is that you can open the door to creativity and new ideas. Have you ever noticed that some of your best ideas seem to appear out of nowhere when you are doing something simple and solitary, like taking a walk, having a shower, or just quietly looking out of a window? That's because when your brain isn't busy processing external noise and information, it has the freedom to wander, make new connections, and think more freely. Alone time can be a wonderful opportunity to let your creative juices flow. You could doodle in a notebook, create a simple mind map for a new project, or even just record your thoughts and ideas as a voice note on your phone. You might discover an exciting idea for a new hobby, a solution to a problem you've been struggling with, or even a clearer vision for your future goals. Creativity often needs silence to thrive, and loneliness can provide that fertile silence. Let's say this line together. In this quiet space, I let my ideas come to me. This way, you train your mind to see solitary moments as creative opportunities. The fifth and final benefit is that you can build healthy habits. Often, when we are with other people, we tend to follow their routines and habits, not necessarily our own. But when you are alone, you have the complete freedom to make small, healthy choices just for you. You could use the time to take a 10-minute walk around your neighborhood, make sure you drink a full glass of water, or prepare a simple, nutritious meal for yourself. These may seem like very small things, but when you repeat them consistently, they become powerful habits that form the foundation of a healthy lifestyle. And each time you complete one of these healthy actions, you build self-trust and feel a little stronger and more in control of your life. Alone time is not empty time. It is a space where you can plant the seeds of good habits and watch them grow, step by step. Let's practice this final line together. Today, I will do one healthy thing just for me. This sentence keeps you focused on positive action, even when you are by yourself. So, let's quickly review these 5 incredible benefits. Alone time helps you to know yourself better. It allows you to rest and recharge. It gives you the focus needed for deep work. It opens your mind to creativity and new ideas. And it provides the perfect space to build healthy habits. When you begin to see loneliness through this lens, you will no longer fear it. You might even begin to welcome it, because you will understand that every quiet moment holds the potential to give you something good, if you choose to use it with care and intention. And here's an important final thought on this. You don't need to try to do all of these things every time you are alone. you can simply choose one. Maybe today, your alone time is for getting to know yourself. Tomorrow, you might use it to rest. And the next day, you might practice deep work. Slowly and gently, these benefits will become a natural part of your life, and you will see that loneliness is not just a heavy feeling, but also a precious gift. We have just talked about the 5 wonderful benefits that can come from using our alone time wisely. But now, we arrive at the most important question. How do we actually make these benefits a real part of our daily lives? It's one thing to listen to ideas and understand them, but it's another thing entirely to take action. To help you bridge this gap between knowing and doing, I want to share 5 very simple, practical habits you can start practicing during your moments of solitude. These habits are intentionally small. They don't require a lot of time or energy, and they are easy to remember. But if you practice them consistently, day after day, they have the power to completely transform your experience of loneliness. Let's explore them one by one. The first habit is something I call the daily check-in journal. This habit is wonderful because it helps you to get to know yourself better, while also giving you a great opportunity to practice your English writing and speaking. The idea is incredibly simple. Every day, find a notebook and a pen and write just 3 short lines. Line 1 is today's date. Line 2 begins with the words, "Today, I feel," and you complete the sentence by writing down your true feeling in that moment. Line 3 begins with, "One small plan is to," and you write down one simple, achievable thing you want to do that day. For example, your entry might look like this: September 24th, 2025. Today, I feel a little tired. One small plan is to read 3 pages of my English storybook. That's it. This entire process takes less than 3 minutes, but its impact is huge. It helps you to acknowledge and understand your feelings, and it gives you a clear, simple focus for your day. After you have written your 3 lines, the next step is to read them out loud. This simple act turns it into a speaking practice as well. So, remember, 3 lines every day can help both your self-awareness and your English skills grow together. The second habit is a calming technique called calm square breathing. This is a fantastic way to soothe your body and quiet your mind. When we feel lonely, our bodies can sometimes feel tense or stressed. This simple breathing exercise can help bring a sense of peace. The steps are very easy to follow. First, you breathe in slowly through your nose for a count of 4 seconds. Then, you gently hold your breath for 4 seconds. After that, you breathe out slowly through your mouth for 4 seconds. Finally, you pause for 4 seconds before starting again. You can repeat this square of breathing 4 or 5 times. It only takes about 2 minutes, but it can make a remarkable difference in how you feel. While you are doing this, you can also practice a simple sentence in your mind or say it softly. I breathe in peace. I breathe out stress. I am calm. Saying this as you follow your breath helps you to connect deeply with your body and feel more grounded and peaceful in your solitary moments. The third habit is what I like to call the mindful discovery walk. This habit uses gentle movement to refresh your mind and connect you to the world around you. When you take a walk by yourself, you have a unique opportunity to notice the small, beautiful details that you might otherwise miss. The steps are simple. First, decide to go for a short walk, maybe just for 10 or 15 minutes. Second, as you are walking, make it a game to notice 3 things you can see, 3 things you can hear, and 3 things you can feel. For example, you might say to yourself, I see a tall green tree. I see a small brown dog. I see a bright red car. Then, I hear the birds singing. I hear the sound of the wind. I hear the footsteps of other people. And finally, I feel the warmth of the sun on my skin. I feel my feet touching the ground. I feel the gentle breeze on my face. The third and final step is to say these simple sentences out loud in English. This is a wonderfully powerful habit because it combines mindfulness, physical activity, and English speaking practice all at the same time. It pulls you into the present moment and helps you feel more connected to the world, even when you are alone. The fourth habit is called the focus power block. Your alone time is the perfect chance to concentrate deeply on something important to you. This habit helps you use that time to intentionally improve a skill. The steps are as follows. First, choose one specific skill you want to work on. For example, you might choose to practice your English pronunciation by shadowing. Shadowing is when you listen to a native speaker and try to copy their words, rhythm, and intonation at the same time. Or you could decide to learn 5 new English vocabulary words and write sentences with them. Second, set a timer for a specific amount of time, like 15 or 20 minutes. Third, during that time, you do only that one activity. No checking your phone, no looking at social media, no distractions, just pure focus. For example, you could rewind a paragraph of this podcast, play it, and then try to speak along with me, copying my voice as closely as you can. This provides you with real active speaking practice and helps you build fluency. This habit makes loneliness feel incredibly productive because you are actively using the time for your personal growth. The fifth habit is called the 1-3-5 priority plan for the day. This is a simple habit for creating focus and discipline in your daily life. It helps you to turn unstructured, lonely time into meaningful, useful time. The steps are easy. First, on a piece of paper, write down one big task for the day. This is your most important priority, the one thing you really want to accomplish. Second, write down 3 medium tasks. These are smaller but still important things you would like to complete. Third, write down 5 very small, easy tasks. These could be things like drink a glass of water or stretch for 2 minutes. Then, you start your day by trying to do the big task first. For example, your plan might look like this. My one big task is to study for my English exam for 30 minutes. My 3 medium tasks are to wash the dishes, call my grandmother, and go for a short walk. My 5 small tasks are to make my bed, drink a glass of lemon water, reply to 1 email, listen to 1 English song, and write in my journal. After writing your plan, you can practice speaking by saying your big task out loud. My most important task today is. This simple act makes you feel focused and in control. It also trains you to speak about your plans and priorities clearly in English. So, let's quickly review. We have 5 simple habits you can try during your quiet moments. Number 1, the daily check-in journal, to connect with your feelings and make a small plan. Number 2, calm square breathing to soothe your body and mind. Number 3, the mindful discovery walk to notice the world around you and practice speaking. Number 4, the focus power block to improve an important skill. And number 5, the 1-3-5 priority plan to stay focused and organized. Each of these habits is simple, but when you practice them consistently, you will be amazed at how much value you can get from your alone time. The most important thing is not to feel pressured to do all of them at once. Choose one or two that sound interesting or helpful to you, and start today. When you feel comfortable, you can add another. Soon, you will see that your time alone is not empty at all. It is full of small, wonderful opportunities to care for yourself, to learn, and to grow. We have now learned that loneliness can offer us many benefits if we approach it with the right mindset. We have also discovered 5 simple habits that can help us make our alone time more powerful and positive. But now, it is time to take one more crucial step. Listening to ideas and understanding them is a great start, but real, lasting change happens when you create a personal plan for yourself. Without a clear plan, even the most inspiring ideas can get lost in the busyness of daily life. That is why I want to introduce you to a very simple yet effective system for structuring your time. I call it the Rhythm of Connection Plan. This is a personal roadmap that you can create and follow to ensure that your time alone is useful, healthy, and even joyful. The first part of the plan is to choose 3 daily micro-actions. Micro-actions are exactly what they sound like. Very small, tiny steps that take very little time or effort. They are so simple that it's almost impossible to say you don't have time for them. However, when you repeat these tiny actions every single day, they build up and create significant results over time. For example, your 3 daily micro-actions could be 1. Write in your daily check-in journal. 2. Learn 3 new English vocabulary words and use them in a sentence. And 3. Do 5 minutes of stretching to care for your body. These are not huge, overwhelming tasks. They are small wins that give you a sense of progress every day. The secret is to choose actions that you know you can realistically do every day, even on the days when you feel tired or unmotivated. If you start with a goal that is too big, you are more likely to give up. If you keep it small and manageable, you are much more likely to continue. So, take a moment to think about your own life. What are 3 tiny actions that would make you feel good and move you just a little bit closer to your goals? The second part of the plan is to schedule 2 weekly connections. As human beings, we are social creatures. We need relationships and a sense of belonging to thrive. Even if you are someone who truly enjoys being alone, your mind and heart still need some form of connection with others. That is why this plan intentionally includes 2 moments of connection every week. These don't have to be long, elaborate social events. For example, one connection could be a 15-minute phone call with a good friend. The other connection could be having a cup of coffee with a classmate after your class. The goal is simply to remind yourself that you are not completely isolated, that there are people in your life who care about you, and that you can share a part of your journey with them. These 2 small points of connection each week can make a huge difference to your emotional well-being. They provide comfort, reduce feelings of isolation, and also give you a fantastic opportunity to practice your English conversation skills in a real-life setting. The third and final part of the plan is to have 1 monthly solo date. A solo date is a special planned activity where you go somewhere by yourself. You are not doing this because you don't have anyone to go with. You are doing it because you are intentionally choosing to spend quality time with the most important person in your life, yourself. This could be something as simple as a visit to a local museum you've never been to, a long walk in a beautiful park, or spending an afternoon in a cozy cafe with a good book and a nice drink. A solo date is a powerful practice that teaches you to enjoy your own company. It helps you to reframe time alone not as something to be endured, but as an opportunity for adventure and discovery. When you do this once a month, you begin to create special, positive memories with yourself. You also give your mind the uncluttered space it needs to relax, dream, and grow. Many people find that these solo dates are the moments when they feel their most creative, free, and self-reliant. Now, how can you use this plan to practice your speaking? It's very simple. After you have created your plan, you say it out loud in English. For example, you could say, "My 3 daily micro-actions are journaling, learning 3 new words, and stretching." Or, "This week, for my 2 connections, I will call my sister and have lunch with my friend, Maria." By speaking your plan aloud, you are doing 3 things at once. You are training your mind to focus on your goals. You are practicing speaking in clear, complete sentences, and you are making your intentions stronger. When your ears hear the words your mouth is speaking, your brain remembers them much more effectively. So, let's bring it all together. The rhythm of connection plan is easy to remember. 3 daily micro-actions, 2 weekly connections, and 1 monthly solo date. If you follow this simple rhythm, loneliness will begin to feel less like a heavy burden and more like a natural part of your life that actually supports your growth, your health, and your happiness. Please remember, the real power is not in doing something huge once in a while. The real power is in the small steps that you repeat again and again, with kindness and patience toward yourself. I encourage you to take out a piece of paper tonight and write down your own rhythm of connection plan. Keep it simple and realistic. Then, tomorrow, begin with your 3 micro-actions. At the end of the week, make your 2 connections. And before the end of the month, plan your very first solo date. When you have your plan, say it out loud. This week, I will connect with. This simple act is a beautiful way to turn loneliness into your teacher, your guide, and perhaps even your friend. We live in an age where our phones and social media platforms are almost always within arm's reach. For many of us, our phone is the very first thing we look at in the morning, and the very last thing we see before we close our eyes at night. Now, our phones are incredibly useful tools. They help us connect with friends and family across the globe. They provide access to endless information for our studies, and they can offer entertainment. However, when we are in a state of feeling lonely, our phones and social media can quickly become a significant problem. Why is that? It's because many people instinctively try to escape the uncomfortable feeling of loneliness by endlessly scrolling through social media feeds. For the first few minutes, it might feel like a form of connection. You see photos of friends, watch entertaining videos, and read messages. But after a while, perhaps after 30 minutes or an hour of mindless scrolling, you often end up feeling even more empty and disconnected than before. This is because that kind of passive scrolling does not provide real, genuine human connection. It only fills your eyes with images. It doesn't fill your heart with warmth. That is why it is absolutely essential to set healthy boundaries with your phone and social media. Boundaries are clear limits that you create to protect your mental and emotional well-being and to bring more balance into your life. One very simple but powerful tool you can try is something I call the pause and choose method. The next time you feel that automatic urge to pick up your phone and start scrolling, I want you to challenge yourself to pause. Don't touch your phone right away. Instead, just wait for 10 minutes. During those 10 minutes, do something else, something intentional. You could do some gentle stretches, drink a glass of water, write one single line in your journal, or simply stand up and take a few deep breaths. What you will often find is that after those 10 minutes have passed, the intense urge to check your phone has significantly faded. You realize you don't actually need it in that moment. And if you still want to check it, you can. But the difference is that now it is a conscious choice, not an automatic, mindless reaction. The pause and choose method gives you back your power. It puts you in the driver's seat of your own attention, rather than being a passenger taken for a ride by your habits. Another incredibly helpful idea is to create what I call sacred screen-free zones in your day. These are specific, planned moments where you make a conscious decision not to use your phone at all. For example, one sacred screen-free zone can be during your meals. When you eat, just eat. Pay attention to the taste and texture of your food. Notice the colors and smells. Feel a sense of gratitude for the nourishment. Another powerful screen-free zone can be the first 30 minutes after you wake up in the morning. Instead of immediately flooding your brain with notifications and other people's lives, you can use this time to gently wake up. You can stretch, wash your face, look out the window, or say one positive sentence to yourself about the day ahead. A third, and perhaps most important, screen-free zone can be the 30 minutes before you go to sleep. The blue light from our screens can interfere with our sleep quality. Putting your phone away before bed helps your brain to calm down and relax, leading to a deeper and more restful sleep. These small pockets of time are like mini vacations for your mind. They give your brain the space it needs to rest, to recharge, and to think its own thoughts without constant interruption. Let's be honest with ourselves. This is not always easy, especially at first. We are so conditioned to pick up our phones that it can feel strange or even uncomfortable to stop. But please remember, every new healthy habit feels a little strange in the beginning. If you keep practicing day after day, it slowly becomes your new normal. The goal here is not to get rid of your phone completely. The goal is to use it as a tool in a way that supports your life, rather than controls it. When you intentionally create space away from your screens, you give yourself the incredible gift of being able to listen to your own thoughts, to connect with the real people in your physical space, and to use your quiet, lonely moments for genuine growth. Now, let's add a small but powerful speaking practice. I want you to repeat this empowering line after me. I control my phone does not control me. Say it slowly and feel the power in those words. Let's say it again, this time a little louder and with more conviction. I control my phone. My phone does not control me. This is more than just a sentence. It is a declaration of your power. You are the owner of your time. You are the manager of your attention. Your phone is a tool, but you are the master. So, when loneliness comes to visit, please don't try to escape it through endless, mindless scrolling. Instead, try the pause and choose method. Create sacred screen-free zones in your day. Protect your precious mind and give yourself the time you deserve for real rest, real connection, and real growth. If you practice these small steps, I promise you will begin to feel stronger, calmer, and more in control of your own life. Throughout this episode, we have been talking about the positive side of loneliness. We've explored how to reframe it as a teacher, a friend, and even a catalyst for our personal growth. But it is also very important to be honest and acknowledge that sometimes loneliness does not feel light or positive at all. Sometimes it feels incredibly heavy, like you are carrying a huge, invisible backpack full of rocks on your shoulders every single day. It is crucial to recognize this difference, because when loneliness becomes this heavy and persistent, it is no longer just a normal passing feeling. It is a serious signal that you need extra care and extra support. So, how can you know if your loneliness is becoming too heavy? There are some clear signs that you can look out for. One significant sign is a persistent lack of energy that lasts for many days or even weeks. Even the simplest daily tasks, like brushing your teeth, taking a shower, or preparing a meal, can start to feel overwhelming and almost impossible to complete. Another sign can be significant changes in your sleep patterns. Perhaps you are sleeping far too much, for 10 or 12 hours, but you still wake up feeling completely exhausted. Or, on the other hand, perhaps you can't sleep at all. You lie awake at night with your mind racing, unable to find rest. A third sign is a growing sense of hopelessness. You might start to have thoughts like, "Nothing is ever going to change," or "I will always feel this way." These kinds of thoughts can make you feel trapped and completely stuck. When you begin to notice these signs in yourself, it is so important that you do not ignore them. They are your body and your mind sending out an urgent call for help. What can you do if you find yourself feeling this kind of heavy, draining loneliness? The very first and most gentle step is to talk to someone you trust. This could be a close friend, a family member you feel safe with, a favorite teacher, or a professional counselor. You don't need to have the perfect words or a complete explanation for how you are feeling. You can simply say something like, "I haven't been feeling like myself lately. I feel really lonely and tired. Could we talk for a little while?" Just the act of speaking your feelings out loud and having someone listen without judgment can make the heavy weight feel a little bit lighter. Another gentle action you can take is to join a group activity or a class that interests you. This could be an English conversation club, a sports team, a book club, or a volunteer group. Being around other people who share a common interest can slowly and gently help to bring back your energy and your sense of hope. You don't have to put pressure on yourself to make best friends right away. Simply being present in a shared space with others is already a very positive and healing step. There is also a very important safety note I need to share. If your feelings of loneliness ever become so intense that you feel unsafe, or if you begin to have thoughts of harming yourself, please, do not stay silent. In that critical moment, it is essential that you seek help immediately. This could mean calling an emergency helpline in your country, going to a doctor, or reaching out to a trusted adult who can help you right away. Please remember, needing help is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign of being human. Every single person needs support at some point in their life. And there are kind people, professional services, and supportive communities that are ready and willing to listen and help you through difficult times. Now, let's do a very short but important speaking practice together. Please repeat this sentence after me. I am not alone, and help is always possible. Say it slowly, and let yourself feel the strength and truth in those words. Now, let's say it again with a little more confidence and belief. I am not alone, and help is always possible. This sentence is like a small, steady light. It is a powerful reminder that even when things feel incredibly dark, there is always a way forward. So, please hold this in your heart. Loneliness can be a teacher. But if it ever becomes too heavy to carry, you do not have to carry it by yourself. Share the weight with someone. Reach out. Take one small step. And always believe this fundamental truth. You are not alone, and help is always possible. We have talked a great deal about loneliness. We have explored its potential benefits, and we have learned many practical habits to help make our alone time more meaningful and useful. Now, before we conclude this episode, I want to guide you through a short, reflective practice. You can think of this as a small, gentle exercise where I will walk with you step by step. The purpose of this practice is to make all the ideas we have discussed feel more real and personal for you. This is not just about listening to my voice, it is also about using your own. When you speak your answers out loud, you are not only practicing your English, but you are also training your mind to focus on positive, intentional actions. So, let's begin. First, I invite you to take a slow, deep breath in, and then a long, gentle breath out. Wherever you are right now, just allow yourself to relax for a moment. If you are sitting down, feel your feet planted firmly on the floor. If you are walking, perhaps you can slow your pace just a little. Feel that this moment is entirely for you. Now, I will guide you with 3 short sentence prompts. I will say the sentence, and then I will leave a moment of silence for you to answer out loud, in your own words. Please don't worry about finding the perfect grammar or the most impressive vocabulary. Just speak honestly and simply from your heart. This practice is not about perfection. It is about connection. Connection with your feelings, with your intentions, and with the sound of your own voice. The first reflection is, right now, in this moment, I feel. Take a moment to check in with yourself. What is the truest feeling present for you right now? Maybe you feel calm. Maybe you feel a little tired. Perhaps you feel hopeful, or maybe even a little sad. There are no right or wrong answers. Just gently notice your true feeling, and then speak it out loud. Right now, in this moment, I feel. Now, let's move to the second reflection. One small, kind action I can do for myself today is. A kind action is something small and gentle that you can do for yourself or for someone else. It could be something as simple as making a warm cup of tea for yourself, sending a short, kind message to a friend, or deciding to go for a 5-minute walk in the fresh air. Kindness doesn't need to be a grand gesture. It just needs to be genuine. Think of one thing and say your answer out loud now. One small, kind action I can do for myself today is. And now, we come to our third and final reflection. One person I can connect with this week is. Think about someone in your life that you could reach out to. This might be a close friend you haven't spoken to in a while, a family member, a teacher, or even a classmate that you would like to get to know better. It is simply someone who can offer a small moment of connection. Sometimes speaking with just one person can completely change the way you feel. Think of someone and say their name or your intention out loud now. One person I can connect with this week is... Now, take another slow, deep breath in, and a long, slow breath out. You have just completed a guided reflection. Take a moment to notice how that feels. Even in just these few short minutes, you have connected with yourself on a deeper level. You have actively practiced your spoken English, and you have taken a small but significant step toward using your quiet time in a more conscious and positive way. You acknowledged your feeling, you chose a kind action, and you remembered a person you can reach out to. These 3 steps may seem very small, but they are incredibly powerful tools. Whenever the feeling of loneliness feels a bit heavy, or whenever you find yourself with some extra time alone, you can always return to this simple practice. You can close your eyes, take a breath, and ask yourself these 3 questions. Right now, I feel, one kind action I can do is, and one person I can contact is. This practice only takes a few minutes, but it has the power to make your alone time feel more meaningful, supportive, and full of possibility. So please remember, loneliness does not have to be your enemy. It can be a signal, a teacher, and even a friend. And with simple practices like this one, you can learn to transform your lonely moments into moments of learning, moments of growth, and moments of healing. Now that we have explored the emotional and practical sides of loneliness, let's spend a few minutes in our special language corner. This is the part of the podcast where we zoom in and focus specifically on learning and practicing English. You can use this section to build your vocabulary, practice useful sentence structures, and improve your pronunciation. Even though our topic today has been about loneliness, the language skills you learn here are versatile and can help you in your daily conversations, in your academic studies, or in your professional life. Let's begin with our vocabulary bank. These are words that are very useful when talking about feelings, habits, and daily life. I will say the word, give you a simple definition, and use it in an example sentence. Lonely. Feeling sad because you are by yourself or feel disconnected. Example. Sometimes I feel lonely, even when I'm in a crowded room. Alone. The physical state of being by yourself, which is not always sad. Example. I love spending Saturday mornings alone with a good book. Recharge. To get your energy back. Example. After a busy week, I need the weekend to rest and recharge my batteries. Focus. To give all your attention to one thing. Example. I need to focus on my studies if I want to pass the exam. Habit. An action that you do regularly, often without thinking. Example. Waking up early has become a positive habit for me. Calm. Feeling relaxed, quiet, and peaceful. Example. Listening to soft music helps me feel calm. Journal. A notebook where you write down your personal thoughts and feelings. Example. I write in my journal every night before I go to sleep. Plan. An idea or arrangement for what you are going to do. Example. My plan for tomorrow is to finish my homework in the morning. Goal. Something you want to achieve in the future. Example. My main goal this year is to become more confident in speaking English. Connect. To spend time with or talk to someone, building a relationship. Example. I try to connect with my grandparents by calling them every week. Reflect. To think deeply and carefully about something. Example. At the end of the day, I like to reflect on what I learned. Energy. The strength and vitality needed for physical or mental activity. Example. A healthy breakfast gives me energy for the whole morning. Routine. A sequence of actions that you regularly follow. Example. My morning routine includes exercise, breakfast, and reading. Distraction. Something that prevents you from concentrating on what you are doing. Example. My phone is a big distraction when I am trying to study. Create. To make or produce something new. Example. I like to use my free time to create art and write stories. Finally, let's talk about pronunciation and rhythm. When we speak English, it is very helpful to chunk our words together into small, meaningful groups, rather than saying one long, monotonous stream of words. For example, instead of saying, I choose one task and I finish it, try pausing slightly between the chunks. I choose one task and I finish it. Can you hear the difference? This rhythm not only helps your listener to understand you more easily, but it also gives you time to breathe and think about what you will say next. Another tip is to slow down and put a little extra emphasis on the key words in your sentence. Words like lonely, habit, plan, and goal. For example, I feel lonely. I take a short rest. I make a plan. This rhythm makes your English sound much clearer and more confident. By actively practicing these three areas, vocabulary, sentence frames, and pronunciation, you can use the lessons from today's topic not only to improve your life skills, but also to make real, tangible progress in your English learning journey. Try to use these new words and sentences when you write in your journal, when you make your daily plan, or when you reflect during a quiet walk. When you connect your language learning with your real-life actions, your English will improve faster and feel much more natural. We have now arrived at the final part of today's episode. Before we say our goodbyes, let's take a moment to gently recap the 5 main benefits of loneliness that we discussed earlier. It is so important to remember that loneliness is not just a sad or empty feeling. It can truly be a wise teacher and a helpful friend if we learn to use it with intention. First, loneliness helps you to know yourself better. When you create quiet moments for yourself, you can tune in and notice your true feelings, your deepest needs, and what is genuinely important to you in life. Second, loneliness provides a precious opportunity to rest and recharge. Taking short breaks, enjoying calm moments, or practicing gentle self-care can refill your body and your mind with much-needed energy. Third, loneliness helps you to find focus for deep work. With fewer external distractions, you can more effectively complete important tasks, study complex subjects, or practice your skills with greater concentration. Fourth, loneliness encourages creativity and new ideas to emerge. Quiet time allows your brain to make new connections, solve problems from a different perspective, or dream up exciting new projects. And fifth, loneliness can be the perfect environment to build healthy habits. Daily routines like taking a short walk, drinking enough water, journaling your thoughts, or planning your day are often easier to start and maintain when you are alone and mindful. Please keep these 5 powerful benefits in your mind, as they form the foundation for both your personal growth and your English practice. Now, to help you make all of this practical and real in your own life, I want to invite you to try a simple 7-day challenge. This is a gentle plan designed to help you turn your lonely or quiet moments into meaningful and productive time. Each day of the week focuses on one of the simple habits or activities we talked about in today's podcast. On day 1, start with the daily check-in journal. Take a notebook. Write down the date, your current feeling, and one small plan for the day. Then, read your 3 lines out loud to practice your speaking. On day 2, practice the calm square breathing exercise. Breathe in for 4 seconds, hold for 4, breathe out for 4, and pause for 4. Repeat this cycle 4 times and gently say to yourself, I breathe in peace. I breathe out stress. I am calm. On day 3, go for a 10-minute mindful discovery walk. As you walk, notice 3 things you can see, 3 things you can hear, and 3 things you can feel. Speak them out loud using the simple sentences. I see, I hear, I feel. This beautifully combines movement, reflection, and English practice. On day 4, schedule a focus power block. Choose one skill you want to improve, for example, English reading, listening, or learning new words. Set a timer for just 15 or 20 minutes and give that one skill your full, undivided attention. On day 5, create your 1-3-5 priority plan for the day. Write down 1 big task, 3 medium tasks, and 5 small tasks. Start with the big one and say it out loud. My most important task today is. This habit improves your focus, organization, and speaking skills. On day 6, try a no-phone morning. For the first 30 minutes after you wake up, avoid looking at your phone. Use the time to stretch, breathe, write, or read instead. Then, say this empowering sentence out loud. I control my phone. My phone does not control me. This will help your mind feel fresh and present. Finally, on day 7, treat yourself to a solo date. This could be going to a park, sitting with a book in a cafe, or simply taking a quiet walk in a place you enjoy. Afterwards, speak 1 sentence about your experience, such as, Today, I spent some time alone, and I really enjoyed it. This is a gentle and meaningful way to end your week and celebrate your progress. Here is a very important tip for this challenge. Each day, after you complete your activity, try to speak 1 sentence about it out loud. It can be very simple, like, Today, I wrote in my journal, or I went for a walk and I noticed the beautiful flowers. Speaking aloud is a powerful tool that helps your English, strengthens your memory, and makes your positive actions feel more real. You could even record your sentence on your phone or tell a friend what you did. This small step helps to turn your personal practice into a consistent learning habit. By following this 7-day challenge, you will begin to see for yourself how your quiet moments can become incredibly valuable. You will feel calmer, more focused, more creative, and healthier. And you will be practicing your English in a natural, integrated way while also taking wonderful care of your mind and body. Please remember, the key is consistency, not perfection. Taking 1 small step each day is far more powerful than trying to do everything all at once. Treat yourself with kindness and curiosity, and most importantly, enjoy the journey. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today on English in Fluency. I truly hope that our conversation has helped you to see that your quiet, lonely moments can be gentle teachers. They are not always easy, but when we learn to approach them with wisdom and care, they can help us to grow, to learn, and to feel stronger from the inside out. Remember all the small, manageable steps we talked about today. Journaling, breathing, walking, practicing a skill, making a plan, setting phone boundaries, and even taking yourself on solo dates. Each one of these simple actions has the power to turn a quiet or lonely moment into a precious opportunity to know yourself better, to rest your body and mind, to focus your attention, to be creative, and to build healthy, life-affirming habits. Before we finish, I want to invite you to share your experience with our community. You could write a comment below this podcast, send a message, or simply tell a friend about one benefit or habit that you tried this week. For example, maybe you wrote in your journal for the very first time, you practiced the calm, square breathing, or you went on a mindful discovery walk and noticed new and beautiful things in your own neighborhood. Sharing your experience is a wonderful way to reflect on your progress, practice your English writing, and inspire and encourage other learners on this journey to try these habits too. Finally, let's practice one last, very important sentence together. Repeat after me slowly and with conviction. I can grow, even when I am alone. Let's say that again, this time a little louder and with a little more confidence. I can grow, even when I am alone. This is not just a collection of words. It is a powerful reminder that your time by yourself is never wasted time. It is a chance to build yourself, to improve your English, and to feel more peaceful and centered in your own skin. Keep saying this sentence to yourself whenever you feel lonely. Let it guide you, encourage you, and fill you with confidence. Thank you once again for joining me on English in Fluency today. I hope this episode has given you a new perspective on loneliness and provided you with practical tools to use your alone time for growth. Remember, you are not wasting time when you are alone. You are learning, you are reflecting, and you are creating. Use what we have learned. Practice your speaking, and enjoy your journey. Until next time, take care.